Hey, what is up mortals, it is JamesCfer here, and before we get into today's video, firstly I'd like to say, please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Secondly, there's links in the description to my Patreon where you can support this channel, and there's also a link to the Discord down there as well. I'd like to say a special thank you to my Patrons for supporting this channel, and in that Discord you can talk to myself and other mortals, and it would be awesome to see you join us. So where we left off with Part 8, the second event of the sports festival had just finished. In the announcer's room where Eraserhead and Present Mike commented on the tournament, they had just turned off the mic, and Eraserhead is explaining to Present Mike why a third year is taking part in the first year sports festival. Due to Midoriya's recent injuries, we had to take action to increase the credibility of UA as a school and as a beacon. That is why we have elected to do this by having a third year take place in the first year sports festival. That way people can see the difference in skill, power and control. In other words, it's our way of saying that UA is the best place for aspiring heroes, not just a regular hero school, but a superhero school. He doesn't even smirk as he says that pun. Present Mike responds to Aizawa, "Yeah, I know. I was at the same meeting you were. Down where the students are, the placement for the tournament has just been announced. First round is Ida vs Midoriya. Midoriya wishes Ida luck and says that he's going to win. Ida answers him and says that even if you're injured, I'm not going to go easy on you. The fight starts. Midoriya goes straight into booster mode, leaping into the air, putting distance between him and Ida. From up there, Midoriya starts shooting air bullets. He flicks his finger repetitively. Ida keeps running around, dodging. But he has no way to attack Midoriya at this distance, so he just waits for Midoriya to come down and get closer. He plans to then activate Recipro Burst as Midoriya comes down. Ida gets into position and shouts Recipro Burst, running at Midoriya at incredible speeds. This is the first time he's used this attack, so it catches Midoriya off guard. Ida slams into Midoriya's chest, sending them both flying. They both go flying, out of bounds, and into the stands. Midoriya tries to figure out a way to overcome this. He can't lose here. He will not let these injuries get the best of him. He activates One for All and slams his foot into the air. Surprisingly, he actually changed the trajectory, sending them back in the opposite direction. He makes a second quick step to get free of Ida, throwing Ida down and propelling himself back up. Midoriya flies over the arena. His body is exhausted. He knows that he's overshot the arena, and he feels like he's about to pass out. He knows he's about to lose. He falls to the ground. He hits the ground having completely overshot the arena. Damn it, I'm out of bounds, Midoriya thinks to himself. After a moment or two, he slowly gets back up, looking around. He's sure that he's just lost, but he hears people cheering his name. He hears, "Winner, Izuku Midoriya." Midoriya realizes that Ida hit the ground first before him, therefore he was out of bounds first. Deku then stares up, tearing up a little. He then lifts his head high, wiping away the few tears that had formed. Next match, Monoma vs Todoroki. At the beginning of the match, Monoma runs at Todoroki trying to hit him. Todoroki keeps dodging. He dodges the first few attacks and Monoma eventually hits Todoroki. Todoroki then proceeds to freeze Monoma's arm. Monoma steps away and then the ice starts melting and evaporates. Todoroki looks at Monoma in shock and surprise. How did you do that? How did you use my father's power? He silently screamed this at Monoma. Present Mike then announces Monoma's quirk as a limited copy quirk. Monoma then begins to use the rest of the fight time to torment Todoroki. Because Todoroki's only using one half of his quirk and Monoma's using two, he's able to quickly overpower him. And because Shoto's only using his ice side, which is his defensive side, he doesn't exactly have too much offense to actually go up against him. Monoma just keeps his unrelenting assault until Todoroki runs out of energy and he just passes out and loses. Next round, Shinzo vs Tatsu. The fight starts and Shinzo asks Tatsu, "So, are you basically just a clone of the 1A rock guy, except using steel instead?" Tatsu gets very offended by this and lashes out at Shinzo by saying, "How dare you compare me to him?" And then he freezes, being brainwashed. Shinzo then tells Tatsu to walk out of bounds, and he does that, and then he wins. Kirishima vs Shiozaki. The fight starts, and Shiozaki starts sending vines at Kirishima, trying to immobilize him, but Kirishima uses his hardening skin to cut right through the vines, slowly making it towards her. When he reaches her, he hits her with a full force knockout, and he knocks her out. Toki vs Mai Hatsume. The fight is mostly publicity stunt. After the showcase of all her inventions, Hatsume just steps out of bounds, willing to give up and Tokiyami wins. Ashido vs Kendo. The fight is quickly won by Ashido because although Kendo is a slightly better fighter, Kendo doesn't have any ranged attacks and Ashido does. Ashido wins by shaking the ground and shooting acid at Kendo. Miriah vs Ochika. This fight lasts about 30 seconds. It starts as Ochika runs at Miriah, knowing that if she can make him float, she'll probably win. Ochika runs at Miriah and tries to touch him, but her hand just goes right through him, and then Miriah's clothes fall through him. Miriah then hits Ochika right in the gut, sending her flying out of bounds, resulting in him winning. Momo vs Kaminari. This fight doesn't last very long either. Momo, knowing what Kaminari will do, acts accordingly, preparing her creation ahead of time. The match starts and, as expected, he does a full front assault, shooting at his indiscriminate 1,000,000 volts, and Momo just creates an insulin sheet that she had used to protect herself from the electricity in the past. Kaminari, from the overuse of his powers, just became dumb, and Momo took the opportunity to create a staff and hit Kaminari, knocking him out. Winner, Momo. Next round, round 2. Deku vs Monoma. Midoriya stays in booster mode for most of the fight, as it allows him to move freely around the arena. Midoriya moves in quickly to kind of try and attack Monoma and kick him out of bounds. Midoriya successfully lands a kick, but Monoma manages to copy Deku's quirk by touching his hair. Monoma is quickly sent out of the arena, almost landing out of bounds. He gets up and tries to activate One for All, saying, "I got your quirk now, Midoriya," and he tries to hit Midoriya. Midoriya easily dodges and realizes, wait, no wind pressure? And Monoma didn't hurt himself? Midoriya then jumps back at Monoma, hitting him and throwing him out of bounds. People start cheering and Midoriya thinks to himself, what was that? And then Monoma says to himself, looks like your quirk's a dud. Shinzo vs Kirishima. The fight starts as Shinzo proceeds to insult Kirishima, calling him stupid and an idiot. Kirishima ignores Shinzo's taunts, running at him, until Shinzo says, "You'll never be a hero," and Kirishima says, "Shut up!" Getting brainwashed immediately, Shinzo then kindly asks him to walk out of the arena, and Kirishima humbly obliges. Tokiyami vs Ashido. In the fight, Ashido keeps up trying to shoot acid at Tokiyami, and Tokiyami keeps using Dark Shadow to protect himself, getting closer to her and closer until getting knocked out of bounds by Dark Shadow, eventually managing to hit her once. This ends the fight nearly instantly with Tokiyami being the victor. Momo vs Miriah. This fight is also short. Momo doesn't really know what to do against Miriah, and when the fight starts, she makes a staff and a shield. Miriah just runs at Monoma and kicks her, passing right through her and then turning around and knocking her out. Round 3, the semi-finals. Round 3, the semi-finals. Midoriya vs Shinzo. Before the fight actually starts, Kirishima and Ojiro warn Midoriya of Shinzo's quirk, telling him that he can't answer any questions that Shinzo asks. Midoriya takes a note on this. The fight starts and Shinzo knows what happened between Bakugo and Midoriya, and then begins to insult him and insult Bakugo directly, just to spite Midoriya. The plan works and Midoriya gets brainwashed. Shinzo tells Midoriya to walk out of bounds and starts telling Midoriya that all of his aspirations of being a hero, they're worthless the way they are. You didn't treat yourself right. Deku sees 3 different One for All users. He then begins to have a conversation with one of them. It's like time has slowed down to nearly, well, nothing. The original user tells Midoriya that he can now use about 35% of the stockpiling quirk, and then puts his hand on Midoriya's shoulder, before quickly slapping him, knocking him out of the brainwash. Midoriya quickly walks towards Shinzo, using One for All as a pressure punch towards Shinzo, knocking him out. Tokiyami vs Miriah. As all of Miriah's fights have been pretty much one-sided, since Miriah has so much battle experience thanks to working with Night Eye, he completely overwhelms Tokiyami, phasing right through every attack that he launched at him. Miriah eventually gets bored and just slowly walks to Tokiyami. He hits him in the gut once, knocking him out. Midnight says Miriah wins. Now it's time for the finals. Miriah vs Midoriya. The fight starts and Midoriya uses booster mode to jump up into the air and then push down at Miriah. As he goes down, he just goes straight through Miriah, landing on the ground. Miriah just stands there. You who have taken down the greatest evil. Midoriya knows that Miriah's quirk from Present Mike's description, and that he realizes that he isn't falling through the ground. So, is he making his feet intangible? No, wait, he can't be. That must be how it works. He can only make himself partly intangible. He then jumps into the air using booster mode and shooting some air bullets down, aiming at Miriah's feet and actually hitting him. Miriah is impressed. That's some tactics that you've got there. He waits for Midoriya to land, and then knocks Midoriya out of bounds before he can react, just so that he can actually win this tournament already. And it actually works. Midoriya doesn't have time to react. It's like he was there 1 second and gone the next. Midoriya lands out of bounds, a little confused of what just happened. A little later, the medals are given out, and in this case, since All Might is dead, Nezu is the one to give out the medals. He also gives everyone feedback, telling Shinzo, "Good job, after your performance here, we'll be putting you into the hero course next semester. Until then, you'll be doing special classes to catch up on the hero course." He gives Toki a medal, and presents him with the same advice that was given in the main continuity. Nezu then gives Midoriya a medal, telling him, "Good job. You proved that even after you were injured, you were able to do quite well. You can still be a great hero because you can overcome any obstacle that is put in front of you." Nezu then turns to Miriah and gives him the medal saying, "As expected, you won. Good job, you did well. You represented our school perfectly." Miriah looks down at Midoriya thinking, "This kid was actually kinda good. Maybe we should get him to do the internship, Sir Night-Eye." While Ida and Ochika are leaving school with Midoriya, Ida gets a call from his mother telling him that his brother was badly injured. Ida finishes up the conversation with his mother and says that he'll be there as soon as possible. Ida hangs up and tells his friends, "Midoriya, Ochika, I'm sorry, but my brother Tensei, he was just hurt while fighting the hero killer Stain. I have to go to the hospital." Ida gets some support from Midoriya over this, and Ochika leaves as he heads to the hospital. Midoriya and Ochika take the train home. As Midoriya arrives home, he's exhausted and he goes straight to bed, falling asleep. While Midoriya is sleeping, he sees 8 different people in the outline of a crowd. All Might is asking, "How are you, young Midoriya?" Anyway, that's it for this video. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. As I always say, peace out mortals, don't forget to have an amazing day.
Eyes in the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining.